Hey guys, welcome to Brian's DIY Projects. Today I'm going to be working on a utility trailer. I'm going to be greasing the wheel bearings. This trailer is going to go on about a 200-mile hike up north, and I want to grease the wheel bearings. We're actually going to gift this trailer to my sister-in-law, so I'm going to work on the bearings, and I'm going to bring you guys along for the ride. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and grab my jack. I'm going to jack up this trailer. Then I'm going to grab my impact gun and take the wheel off. All right, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I grabbed my impact. One of the best purchases I ever made was this DeWalt impact gun. I'm going to go ahead and undo the lug nuts now. I know you don't have to undo the lug nuts to work on the wheel bearing, but I'm actually going to replace the tires too, so I'm just going to take those off now. All right, guys, I got my channel locks. I'm going to go ahead and take off the wheel hub, and then we will get down to the bearing. All right. Still looks fairly well greased, but I'm just going to give it a new shot just to make sure I know that it's fresh. See if I can just take this out here with the channel locks. Straighten out the cotter pin that's in here so I can get the castle nut off. So grab some needle nose pliers, that'll make it a lot easier to get this cotter pin out. Use the leverage. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna set that up there. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some gloves to take this castle nut out. That way my hands don't get even more greasy than they already are. All right, got my gloves. Gonna go ahead and take the castle nut off. And I should be able to get the hub off, and we'll pop the bearings out and re-grease them. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pop these out. I'm gonna take this over to the workbench. All right, guys, I've got you set up on the workbench. We're gonna go ahead and take a punch and get these bearings. All right, I got the first bearing out. I'll go ahead and flip it over. We'll go ahead and grab the second bearing. All right, got the other bearing out. So we'll go ahead and clean this out, and we'll take a look inside of there, make sure that the race looks good, and then go ahead and re-grease the bearings. All right, guys, so for Christmas, I got this handy dandy bearing packer. So to put grease in it, you just open this up and then pull this piece out, pull the bottom piece out. It does actually have a grease gun spot, so you could just load a grease gun on there, but I've got bulk grease, so I'm just going to take some out of here and put it in the very bottom. Glad I still have my gloves on. All right. Just going to go ahead and wipe the gloves off real quick. All right, then you put the bottom piece back in. This is where the bearing actually rests on. So yeah, this actually cleans up the sides pretty nicely. It's got a seal on it, so you can just take that and push it all the way to the bottom. And then down in the bottom, you actually see grease starting to actually come up there. So this piece is on a spring, and then you put your bearing down in there and push that grease right into the bearing. It's supposed to make packing bearings a lot easier. All right, so the directions say to take the bearing. I did wipe off the bearing as best I could to get a lot of that old grease out, but you take the bearing and you put the small part down. Then you take the white cap piece, you put that down, you can screw it on, and then you're just supposed to have to press down, and it's supposed to take all the grease and put it up through the bearing. You can see, I think you can see, the top of the bearing is actually starting to push the old grease out. So we're going to go ahead and continue doing this. And it does take a little bit to actually get the grease in there. Just going to pull that off. Yeah, there's a lot of grease, or a lot of the old grease coming off on top, so I'm going to wipe this off and we'll keep going until I see that clean grease come through. I've just got a rag that I'm wiping off the top with. Actually, I'm going to take that rag and put it down there. Get this old grease off from down here too. I can just start to see the grease coming out of there, starting to turn red, so getting closer. I'll tell you what, guys, this is a lot easier than packing a bearing by hand. This does actually have a little lip on the bottom, so you can actually lock it in pretty well. Yeah, I think this actually works the best if you just pull it out after each time that you press on it. So wipe that old grease away. Put it back in and press down again. All right. See if I can get this in front of the camera. All right, so there's a lot of the red grease starting to come through, so I'm starting to think that this bearing is pretty well packed. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off one more time and push the new grease into it. Like I said before, you just take the bearing and put it with the small taper down. All right, looks like that's gonna do it. Yeah, I've got almost new grease coming through everywhere. All right, so this bearing's packed pretty well. See, I'm gonna rotate the camera a little bit. All right, so as I'm putting it in, I'm gonna take the grease I've got here. I'm gonna take the hub and just gonna put loads of grease on the inside of here. This will help keep the hub nice and cool while you're going down the road. All right, I'm gonna take that bearing, set it back in there. Yeah, it's going to actually go. That went in the race there, nice. I'm going to take the seal that came off with it, and I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off, and then I'll put that back on top of the bearing. Like I said before, just wiping it down with an old rag. All right, just pushing that seal back on. Just going to tap that in. Don't have to tap very hard on that, and that'll just set right down on it. I'm going to clean up the outside of the hub. All right, going to turn it over. Should be able to see most of that grease that you put in. And add a little more to this side. All right, and then the same thing for this bearing. Just going to wipe it off as best I can. I'll see if I need to put more grease in the bearing packer. Bring you guys back over to the bearing packer. All right, now this bearing packer is really nice too, because you can actually reach in there, just wipe out that old grease that's left down there in the bottom. Take your new bearing, put it down there, and repeat the process. All right. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off for this one, and I'll bring you guys back after I'm ready to put the hub back on. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do first is just wipe down the axle here. Yeah, this trailer has had issues before, so you're going to see scratches in through here right on the axle. I've sanded it down and got it as smooth as I can get it and get the bearings on and off of there. But yep, I'd rather put a little extra grease on there than not have to worry about that again. So just grab some grease from the container, just put it on the axle. It'll help everything slide together. Take your hub, slide that right on. All right. Just kind of cleaning the outside of that a little bit. Not too much though. Same thing with the castle nut, just wiping it off, getting that old grease out as much as possible. There we go. Get that started on there. Now you don't want to tighten these down too much, so just work it on there. See how it feels. Once you feel like it's getting a little bit tight, I take my channel locks. Just tighten that down more. Move it back and forth. It's going to be tight. That's fine. See if you can tighten it down even more. Just work that grease around in there. Alright, after you get it like that, let's go ahead and take your channel axe now, back it off. I like to back it off about a full half turn or so. It should be pretty easy to move. Once you're done with that part, let's take your cotter pin, put it back through the castle nut. Trying to remember right where that spot was. Just gonna tap that through there. There we go. It'll come out the other end, probably with a little bit of old grease on it. You'll see your two ends there. I just take them, I get them started with the channel axe, and then once they're far enough, you can kind of hold that cotter pin down and just kind of fold these around. There we go. Then you can take your wheel hub, get the old grease out of that. Put some new grease inside of there. Again, can't really over grease these, and I would rather have the security of knowing that this grease is helping everything stay cool. Just take that, and you can just tap that on, just tap it around until it seats itself. Make sure it looks good. Give it a good spin, and this side is done. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side now. Probably show you a sped up version of that, and then we'll probably have to run to the store and buy some new tires for this, because I don't feel like putting new tires on the rims, and then this trailer will be all set. All right, guys. So I finished up with the second hub over here. This is kind of step one of what I want to do to this utility trailer. I also need to replace the lights and just do a couple of general checks on it. So I'll probably make another video or two just regarding this trailer, but I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I've got several different projects I plan on uploading to this channel, and thank you for watching.